Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It is Thursday, June the 19th. I'm Andrew Gagan. Well, the local share market is set to open low with ASX futures down around 0.25%. Global equity markets, they were mixed overnight as investors awaited the outcome of the US Federal Reserve policy meeting, while the Israel-Iran conflict has ensured sentiment remains subdued. Gains made on Wall Street evaporated when Fed Chair Jerome Powell said monetary policy still needs to impose some restraint on the economy. The S&P ending flat with the central bank leaving interest rates unchanged while forecasting rates will be cut by 0.5 percentage point this year. The banks and chip stocks were among the day's best performers. Among the Mag 7, the focus there was on Microsoft. It's planned to cut thousands of jobs, particularly in sales, as part of the company's latest move to trim its workforce amid heavy spending on AI. Well, the US Federal Reserve has held interest rates steady while signalling 2 more rate cuts this year.
Despite elevated uncertainty, the economy is in a solid position. The unemployment rate remains low, and the labor market is at or near maximum employment. Inflation has come down a great deal, but has been running somewhat above our 2% longer run objective.
Given the imposition of tariffs, Fed Chair Jerome Powell saying a cost shock is coming, with producers, manufacturers and retailers all absorbing higher prices. In new economic projections, policymakers outlining a modestly stagflationary scenario, with growth slowing to 1.4% this year, unemployment rising to 4.5% and inflation ending the year at 3%, well above the current level.
If you look at the forecast, you will see that people do generally expect inflation to move up and then to come back down. But we can't just assume that. Of course, we don't know that. And, our job is to make sure, one of our jobs is to make sure that a one-time increase in inflation doesn't turn into an inflation problem.
Well, meanwhile, markets remain watchful for developments in the Middle East, with President Trump yet to decide if the United States will join Israel's bombardment of Iranian nuclear and missile sites. Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei rejected Trump's demand for unconditional surrender, with the US president saying his patience had run out, though he did not indicate what his next step would be. Well, US Treasury yields paired earlier declines after Jerome Powell said inflation in goods prices is expected to accelerate. The yield on the 10-year note slipping to 4.38%, the 2-year at 3.93%. And the US dollar traded higher against most major currencies, but remained weaker against the yen after the Fed kept rates unchanged. The Aussie is at 65.1 US cents. And Bitcoin is trading at around 105,000 US dollars. Oil prices have settled higher in a volatile session, with investors considering the chance of supply disruptions from Iran-Israel conflict and potential direct US involvement. Brent crude futures at $76 a barrel. Iron ore is little changed. Copper has rebounded around 1%, and gold prices fell after the Fed signalled a slower pace of cuts. Spot gold down around 0.4% at $3,374 an ounce. Locally today, we get labour force data and population growth for the December quarter. And that is your day ahead. See you again tomorrow.